Man, what's up, sports world? Man, it's one take here. I'm Zaya. I got a couple of the crew members here with me this Sunday morning. We here to talk sports on Sunday. We got college basketball, Saturday results coming for y'all, NFL Combine, and more. We got MG in the building. Milligram, what's up, MG? How you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
You
Here
got
we
your
are.
coffee today?
Already, I've been up since 5:30. I've already had it.
Thank God, people. She got her coffee. Thank God. Hey, Moss, what's up with you? Level up sports, man. I know you sipping on your coffee too, man. How you doing?
Feeling pretty good, man. It's good to see Grams in the building with us this morning to talk a little bit. And it's always good, man, here with you, one take and doing your thing, man. I'm glad you have me on the show this morning so we can do what we do best.
For sure, man. Hey, y'all know we got low post, mid post, high post up in the building. What's up, post gang? How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Good to be on with y'all. Is that the first lady of Notre Dame football? How you
It
doing, man?
is. It is.
Yes, indeed.
All right, without further ado, man, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it, man. We're gonna start in the college basketball world. We had some great action yesterday, a lot of ranked matchups yesterday. It went kind of crazy, man. But we're gonna start with Virginia, number 11, Virginia at number one, Duke, 51-77. Duke came out with a dub, man. What did y'all think about that game?
For me, we'll let you go last, Miss Graham. You know your boys. I know you anxious to talk, but I actually been watching this Duke team since Michigan. I said it yesterday. They're gonna come out, put a little spanking on Virginia. I was trying to figure out who Virginia was last week after watching them, even watching them when they had a tough game and won against the Buckeyes. Trying to figure out who this team is. Duke let us know they're not too much of a threat to some, but to them, they're definitely not a threat. All cylinders clicking, especially defensively. Duke looked like a national championship team yesterday. So we'll just put that in the air.
Yes, sir. I picked Duke to win yesterday, but I thought Virginia would present a better challenge to that Duke basketball team. Look, man, I Duke to me is one of the favorites to win it all come March in that March Madness tournament. It's nothing else they can do. They just a legitimate title team at this point. So I mean, Cam Boozer, Evans, all those guys can hurt you, and I'm excited to see how Duke does this year. I think Shire was a really great hire, so kudos to Duke because I think he's been coaching his behind off, and he's definitely one of the better coaches in the nation.
Hey, and what's up, WTP for life? We got Rob up in the building. How you doing today, family?
I'm good, man. Good to be here this morning. Sorry I'm a little bit late, but I'm here.
Hey, better late than never. You know what I mean? Hey, we was talking about this Virginia Duke game. Duke with a 26-point victory. Get your thoughts on that before Milligram. So she gonna go off on it. You feel me? And talk her talk. So go ahead and jump in there real quick.
Well, I felt like maybe Virginia will be able to play decent enough defense to sort of slow that Duke team down, but that was not the case. I knew Duke was going to beat them by double digits, but I didn't think they were going to do them by 26. But Virginia is one of those teams that I don't think they're just not what they were maybe a couple of years ago. This Duke team is really, really riding on a high level right now. They've beaten some top quality teams, and they showed again yesterday why they're the number one team in the country.
I tell you what, man. I think Duke they shot the leather off the ball. If they shoot the ball like that, it ain't nobody gonna beat them. It's just no way. Cause if you got to think shooting the ball the way they did yesterday and having a paint presence like Boozer, that's just a recipe for a national championship right there. I know too though that this Virginia team wasn't. I said it Thursday. This Virginia team is not by any means, but at the end of the day, shooting is shooting. You feel me? You got to knock shots down, and if they knocking shots down like that, man, it's gonna be tough. And I like the way Isaiah Evans played yesterday too. Isaiah Evans was balling.
Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't realize that Duke only came in as a 9.5 point favorite. That was the line in Vegas coming into the game yesterday. So I think we kind of heard that and took that personally, that you think we can only beat Virginia by 9.5 at home. Please, we've been on one since probably before Michigan, but Michigan really turned us open a little bit, I think, and we kind of unlocked a couple of key players there that we're going to need going out down into March at that Michigan game, which is Nick Minia and Darren Harris. Nick's a freshman and Darren's a sophomore, and Darren is a pure shooter, an absolute gunner from three, and he hit some at Michigan. He hit 5 or 6 at Notre Dame, and then came out yesterday and put, I think, 12 on the board. So that was really good to have that bench presence as well. Cam is going to do what Cam does. I've said from the beginning of the season, we're going to go as far as Cam takes us. It was nice, though, when he got, scratched in the eye, that Pat Gungwa came out and really helped in the middle as well. I mean, Big Pat does a lot of things that a lot of people don't see. He's quick to the ball. He's covering good. He's setting screens, on offense, and on defense, he's going to block that shot from you and make it harder for your bigs in the middle. They really bothered their 23-year-old freshman. Their first year, as Corey Alexander likes to remind people that they're called at Virginia. And so it was really good to see, I think that was probably our most complete game since Michigan. And Michigan was rocky in the first half too. But I think heading into March and heading into, we've got NC State in Raleigh tomorrow at 7. And then on Saturday, we've got Carolina at home on senior day for Malik Brown. So, and word on the street is Wilson's going to be back for that, which is fine. I want to play a team at its best and with their best always and forever. And so it's good to see. And you hate for kids to go down with injury anyway. So, good to see him be able to come back and hopefully play on Saturday. But a lot of things are happening now that are clicking that maybe a lot of people don't pick up on. Like Caleb Foster is becoming more and more of a leader on that floor, directing the offense, locking down people on defense if Dame is not on somebody. And our defense leads us to our offense. And I think that's helped us in the past few weeks, is really locking up our defensive end as well. I can't stand to listen to Corey Alexander. I call it story time with Corey because he's going to talk about everything and anybody. And he played at Virginia and is from Virginia. And so anybody that's from Virginia, they're best friends. And he's got a story about. But he did make a really good point yesterday about how, John Shire does not get looked at for ACC Coach of the Year because he's at Duke, and that is the expectation. But what he's done in 3 years and what he's done with 2 freshman classes back to back needs to be talked about in Coach of the Year times. He's a young guy. Yeah, he got mentored by the best of the best. And so, making Duke his own team as well, but also he's got 18-year-old kids coming in that are doing grown man things. That's hard. Coaching is a lot harder now than it was 30, 40 years ago, even 15, 20 years ago, even 10. And so being able to connect with these kids coming in and getting them to gel together in just one season, because that's all you've got with these guys anymore. You get 1 year, and then you have to start all over fresh. So I think it was a big win yesterday, a statement win. It clinched us the ACC regular season title. A lot of people don't know the ACC doesn't even recognize the regular season title. We only recognize the conference championship. So that's kind of a ongoing joke too. But we looked real good yesterday, and we've unlocked a couple of kids, and Nick and Darren, and are getting big minutes out of Isaiah, who's still going to throw up some threes that you question. When Pat Gungba and Malik Brown hit a 3 in a game, you're done. So it was a really good all-around game, I think, for us.
Yeah, no doubt. They definitely looked like they could win a national championship, like Moss said yesterday. Anything to add to that game? All right, let's move to the next game. We had number 14, Kansas 61. They went to Arizona, number 2 team in the country, 84, 23-point win for the Wildcats. What did y'all think about that game?
Kansas actually cut that closer before half and just after half. it was, I think, an 8 or 9 point game, and they had a chance. And then Arizona just went balls to the wall, and Kansas couldn't do anything. I joked with a friend. I was like, can people stop making Kansas a thing now? Like, they're not that good. I mean, when they get beat bad. And so they were like, never, because it's Kansas. But I was like, come on now, and Peterson played. So, Fran Fraschilla is a big Peterson fan and was yelling, oh, he's National Player of the Year. I don't know how you get that when he is just now playing full games, but how you get that and your team still getting beat by 20 every game is unrealistic as well. But, I mean, Arizona looks real good.
Yeah. And people forget they had Koa back. Koa Pete. On those games, freshman sensational guys, man. When I seen him on the block posting up doing work, I knew Kansas was in trouble with or without Peterson. I think this was a statement win for Arizona. There's been a lot of questions of other teams taking over the #1 overall seed. I think with them playing this game at home, knowing they lost the game before against Kansas without Peterson. At that point, when they got it close, I think that timeout that was called, if you notice the adjustments made on Arizona's side, it was just, it's time to go. Foot on the gas, and they have quite a few freshmen on that Arizona team that's dangerous. And again, another team that looked like they could win it also. We're already talking possibly 2 #1 seeds with Duke and Arizona. The #1 overall seed is going to be tough. Probably the toughest this year in quite a while.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought this game would be a lot closer than it ended up being. Like Graham said, Kansas did mount a little comeback and off the backs of their star player, Peterson. But I just think that if Duke is 1, Arizona is definitely 2. I think they're right there with Duke as the two teams most likely to win it all. Getting Koa Pete back to add with Krevis down low and the other guy coming off the bench, man, that's work you got to put in to deal with. They bigs at Arizona, you're going to have to put in work. And Burry's had a big game. I like Bradley and Burry's, those 2 guards. So I think Arizona can go as far as they want to go.
Yeah, this Kansas team, man, really concerns me because I think it's all a mental thing for them now. I think they had an opportunity here to sort of maybe get moving in the right direction. They did make a run before the end of the first half and made that thing close, but you saw in the second half where Arizona just picked it up a little bit, enough to where they just went ahead and blew out Kansas. And Kansas right now is one of those teams that's going to go into the tournament and their mindset is not in a good space. They're probably, depending on who their first round matchup is, they might get 1, but I would not, if I had a bracket, I would not have them winning 2 games because their mindset is not right now. I wouldn't even be surprised if their star player Peterson just decided to check out and not play anymore this season. I know he's not going to do that, but I believe mentally he's probably checked out.
I like that. I like that thought because the way he played and got them in the game yesterday on that late run, and for Arizona to do what they do, that's a great question and great talk. I like it.
They still have to go through the tournament, the Big 12 tournament, which is a gauntlet.
Yeah.
I don't know if they win 1 or 2 games in the Big 12 tournament right now.
Yeah, man, listen. I like everything all y'all said about Arizona. We know about Arizona. We know that should be a team that's right there at the end of the season in March, vying for a berth in the Final Four. But I think post game, or Moss said this maybe a couple weeks ago. I can't remember which one, or maybe if it was both of them. But I seen it yesterday when they said that this team doesn't play the same with Darian Peterson.
Yeah.
This is the first time I really actually seen it, and felt it. And I just felt like the ball was getting stuck, man, all game. It felt like it was just getting stuck. So Yeah, they got some things to figure out, man, and that's what happened when your best players in and out of the lineup. It's hard to build that chemistry, man. It really is. And they should definitely be worried. Hopefully, they can, you know, figure out that whole system and that whole dynamic of their offense because I think their offense actually does look better when he's not on the court, unfortunately, and that's their best offensive player. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks if they can fix that thing because they got the pieces.
I mean, this is back-to-back Saturdays. They've been blown out by 20.
Yeah.
All right, y'all got anything else to add to that Kansas Arizona shellacking?
SEC Sean, he said he could check out. I mean, football players do it all the time. I think, and like Ms. Graham said, I think that gauntlet of the Big 12 tournament, which you saying Kansas winning one game in March Madness, what if they don't even win one tournament in one game in the Big 12 tournament? There's a lot of questions after this Arizona loss. I think these next couple games to end the season, it's going to be a lot of talk and a lot of looks at what Kansas is going to do. I mean, they have a great coach, we know, Hall of Famer, but it's a lot of questions that need to be answered when it comes to this.
Because I think they're the 4th or 5th seed right now in the Big 12 tournament, so they only get one bye.
Yeah.
Man, they looking at a 7th seed for March Madness the way they playing.
Yeah. One loss in that Big 12 tournament could put them at a 10 or a 12, possibly even. Like, it's crazy the way these numbers is falling. I think with this last week, since that Michigan Duke has just been a lot of talk of top teams, and some teams is getting knocked off, some teams are standing strong. I think Kansas is in the middle and they kind of trending down right now, especially after that big loss yesterday.
All right, let's move to our next game. We had number 16 Texas Tech with the upset at Iowa State, number 4, 82-73. Did y'all catch it? Did y'all catch any of this game?
Yeah, they got a couple shooters, man. Quite a bit. Anderson Atwell transfer. Lewan Watts, I mentioned his name yesterday. I just think, and I talked to Zay a little bit last night. I don't know if Texas Tech is the most dangerous team without their superstar because you just don't win a game like you win yesterday on the road as big as the game was without your superstar. You talking about top, and he's a mega star. So I think kudos to Tech. They 3-point shooting. They're going to be a tough outing in the tournament.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with that. I was pleasantly surprised by Tech's play yesterday. Iowa State, I believe, was undefeated at home. They come to Iowa State, they get the big victory. Their guard play, their shooting, their ability to score the basketball really stood out. I didn't, for 1 second, when we were picking these teams, think that Texas Tech could do that at Iowa State against that defense. Iowa State likes to play defense, and they just got outplayed. So I agree with Moss. I think Texas Tech could be a scary team, whether you talk about the Big 12 tournament or March Madness.
Yeah, I turned this one on late and saw Iowa State was down fairly big. And I mean, they obviously mounted a bit of a comeback, but at home, even that kind of shocked me because you guys have said, their defense is stellar. But Texas Tech just, I feel like they're almost now playing this season for top end. They were struggling there a little bit, and then he went down and unfortunately had that season-ending injury. But now it's almost like he's like, you know what, go play the season for me now. And maybe not for me. He seems like not an unselfish kind of kid. But, like play like I'm out there and let's go finish this strong. Because they were kind of struggling the last few games before he went down.
Yeah, this Texas Tech team really is a mentally tough team. They're a well-coached team. And I just think they had to figure out some things once they knew that their key player wasn't going to be there. They had to take a couple of games to figure some things out. They really shot the three really well in this game, especially in the beginning of the game. which allowed them to get into a comfortable spot with the lead that they had, and they just carried it on through the rest of that game. Iowa State started off a little bit slow, which hurt them. You can't if a team comes on your home court and they start punching you in the mouth, you got to be able to answer that and stay right there with them. They fell back a little bit too far, probably got to the point where they felt like it wasn't going to help them. I mean, they weren't going to be able to get back in it. And that didn't help them having that kind of a mindset. And Texas Tech stayed on it, kept grinding, kept knocking down shots, and they were able to win this game pretty easily, even though it was less than a double-digit win. I really like this Texas Tech team going into the tournament, but without Toppin, I don't know if they can make the Final Four, but I definitely can see them making the Sweet 16 and possibly even the Elite Eight.
Yeah, losing Toppin, that's a for sure 20-10. I think that can come to haunt them come tournament time. But I said it yesterday, man. This is pretty much just like Kansas in the aspect of when they lost their best player. I think the team is way more balanced now. It's not just coming from one main guy, and I think that makes them just as dangerous as they was with Toppin. But the thing is, when you lose a player like Toppin, that's the player that gets you through certain games that some of these guys ain't showing up. So we're gonna see if they can keep this momentum going into March Madness. But I like their team, man. The big boy, the 6'11" dude, with the hair with the dreads. I like him. I like all their perimeter players. They had some guys coming off the bench yesterday. The Mosley kid that don't really get that much playing time that played well yesterday. So that's gonna be a tough team, man. They're gonna probably be slotted at that 3 or 4 seed, and they're gonna cause some problems for some teams in their regions.
And this like for me with Texas Tech, this is a reason I think they're dangerous. And I'm glad you mentioned that about the 6'11". If you notice, he's been getting more minutes since Toppin due to the injury. But if you notice his presence, I think with him getting more minutes, Lewan Watts, the way he shoots the ball, when you play in the tournament, you got to play defense. You got to be able to knock down shots. And we didn't see a master class of this on the road from Texas Tech yesterday. Like I said, without their superstar, pretty much player of the year candidate. I mean, that's a lot that you're not playing with on the road in a big game to close out the season and prepare for the conference tournament, let alone March Madness. So I don't know. I really like this Texas Tech team. When we asked about under the radar teams, I picked Texas Tech. I think they were scary then. I think they just got much more scary, and it was a good point playing for Toppin. He's the senior leader, knowing where he wanted to get to, bringing that national championship to the Texas Tech Red Raiders. I think it's the season for Toppin. I don't know. This Texas Tech team, I think, is very scary.
Losing this game, though, by Iowa State hurt their chances of getting the #1 seed, too.
Big time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I don't know if this is Zay, I talked to you last night. I said, after the weekend, I'll light you up. Don't matter what team you are, Iowa State. I had high hopes. No #1. And now, is this the same Iowa State? They couldn't get the job done years ago. That's my new question for you, Iowa State. Did the Cyclone get spent up in a blender, or can they come up out of that blender and make something from scratch and put something together for this tournament? That's my question. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to know for the rest of the season.
I think we're going to learn a lot watching the Big 12 tournament. Who's ready for March? Who's ready? And who's going to just kind of squeak in and give us a game, maybe. Or maybe be one of those teams that got in, but we know isn't going to advance. It's the Big 12 tournament's going to give us a ton of information, I think. Who's beating who's showing up, who's showing out, who's ready. Because beating up on each other throughout the season is fine, but you don't know who you're going to get that draw in the field of 60, 68, I guess. But
right.
And you got to be ready to go, because there are teams that are out there that are not as big as you, that have the mindset of David's taking Goliath down, and we're going to be David. And you can't go in with that mindset of, oh, we're playing Miami of Ohio, they're undefeated, but they're a MAC school. Like, go ahead. You can play that game if you want to, but when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and you go home early in March.
Can I ask a quick question on what Melissa is talking about the tournament and the fact that these teams have a really good chance of trying to really get themselves prepared for the actual big NCAA tournament? Do you think there are teams out there who already had themselves positioned probably on a certain line already that they may rather lose in their conference tournament so that they can get a couple of more days rest?
If that's the mindset, I want to know, because I'm not picking them in March.
That's a great question. Me now being a BYU fan this year, I've been watching this closely. I don't know if we need to. I honestly don't know. It's tough. I want to say we need to lose one to get ourselves together, get ourselves in a rhythm. But then I want to say we got to keep playing to get better. That's a great question. Thinking with injuries of Richie Saunders, I say yes. I think even if BYU lose in the tournament, I think you still put them in the tournament on the strength of what AJ DeBanson brings to the tournament along with that BYU team. I say it's been tough. We win these last couple games. Let's take us a loss in the tournament because I feel we're going to get a bye and go from there. Go to the drawing board, see what we can do to make March Madness special for AJ DeBanson, Coach Young, and the rest of this BYU Cougar team. Just my thoughts.
I think you may be able to get away with something like that in the NBA as compared to college football. I don't think you prepare to win every game that you play in basketball just to get to the tournament and say we're not going to win this game. We want to lose so we can get more time to heal up, rest, whatever the case may be. I think that's dangerous. You'll probably be out of the tournament as you didn't expect to because you thought you were doing the right thing and resting your kids. But I just don't see how you would prepare and practice to beat teams and then get to a point and say, let's lose this game.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in when it's March, your goal is to not lose another game. That's your goal. This is the heater. This is the month that this is. This is where we going for the jewel of the whole sport. So now when we get to March, it's time to strap your boots up.
I go back to these are 18 to 22-year-old kids. They're not playing an NBA schedule where they need rest. You know what I mean? Like it's a possible 40 games. You can do it. You can do it. You're young. You're conditioned. This is what you've been working for. And if you can't get through 40 games, how are you going to get through a 90 to 100 game NBA schedule? It's just one of those things. And I agree with Isaiah that it's March. You either play or you go home and you start prepping for what's coming next your way. But if you feel the need that you need to take up, that you are okay with losing a game to get that extra rest, I battle with that. I mean, with the new college football playoff system, nobody gets a rest. You play week in and week out for 16 weeks, 18 weeks.
Just think.
Let's welcome T1 in the building.
What to do?
How you feeling, T1?
Man, I thought y'all was starting at 10. What happened? I ain't get the memo. I did see it go out, though.
9 on Sunday.
It's probably Isaiah's fault.
Switched it to 9 yesterday.
It's all good.
On Saturday.
And I'll have you know, I was ready by 10 yesterday, and Robert Brown and Isaiah said, oh, we moved it to 9. Sorry, I tried. I was ready.
I think yesterday was an eggshell day, but that's another story. But, when you get to this time of the year, too, to add on to what Melissa was saying, man, it's really not – you get your rest still because it's a lot of shoot-arounds. If you got some dudes with nagging injuries, instead of them doing practice shoot-arounds, they're over there in the ice bucket. They got their foot in the ice bucket if it's an ankle or – you getting your rest throughout it too. So I don't think it plays a big part. But T1, we was were speaking on these college basketball games to catch you up to speed. I don't know if you caught any college action, but we had Virginia, Duke, Kansas, Arizona yesterday, Texas Tech, Iowa State, and that's the three we went over so far. So if you've seen any of them games and you got any thoughts on them, you can let us know what you saw.
I actually didn't. Y'all know I moved into my Delicacy yesterday, so I was working hard all the way late into the midnight hour, and I was tired. I ain't get to see anything.
That's cool. That's cool. We got you covered, brother.
As always, as always.
Miss some bangers for sure. Definitely miss some bangers.
Let's get to the next game. We had an SEC showdown yesterday. This was a banger, a late second shot, about 7 seconds or 6 seconds left or something like that from Bama. 71-69. They went on the road and beat number 21 Tennessee. Did y'all catch this game? How did y'all feel about this one?
I know I
enjoyed
it.
Oh,
Go ahead. I didn't see it.
oh, this was definitely a game that played in Tennessee's favor. They kept the score right in the score range where you want to be able to beat Bama, because Bama, if they get you in the 80s, there's no chance that you're really going to beat them because they score the ball so well. But the fact that Tennessee was able to keep it in the low 70s or below 70, they had a really good chance to win this game. Good win for Alabama, though, because they had to win a game where they weren't scoring the ball at the clip that they normally would, because Tennessee played some pretty good defense in this game. They pulled out a good victory with a last-second shot. Tennessee, though, should be proud of the way they played, though, because they played the style of play that they wanted to play to keep this game as low-scoring as possible. And Alabama only scored 71, and they like it up in the 80s and 90s. So kudos to Tennessee, but they lost that game to Alabama. But I think they played the style of play that they wanted to play, so that's a good sign for Tennessee going into the tournament.
Post game T1.
No, I didn't see it. And I'm going to let Post game go because he looked like he about ready to hurt somebody. I don't know what's going on with Post, but Post looked like he ready to go hit somebody. Go ahead.
It's the shiesty, man. It's the shiesty.
Yeah, Post look like he ready for whatever. Come on to the city, man. I got a couple people you can get for me.
No, man, it's cold. I'm streaming in my garage, man. It's pretty cold out here, but I enjoyed this game probably the most on the Saturday slate. I felt like Alabama is a team where if you up on them, you gotta not only hit Goliath with the slingshot, but you gotta behead him, or he gonna come back. And Tennessee didn't behead Alabama. I was so impressed with Tennessee. I don't know how they have as many losses as they have. I know they lost their star player to injury, but the kid Gillespie, thoroughly impressed. That high arcing jump shot, that mid-range pull-up is beautiful to watch. And I felt like Tennessee is a team where some of the things they do, you can't coach. A team who hits the glass and gets offensive boards like Tennessee does, you can't coach that. You can't coach that at all. So I was impressed by Tennessee, their ability to hit the glass, get offensive boards, get second chance points. Gillespie, I think he's a killer. So impressed by Tennessee, but again, you got to take Alabama out. You can't let them hang around, and they hung around and stole the game. So kudos to Bama.
Tennessee's been pretty good at getting big leads on people and then letting them slip away. And that's what's bitten them in the ass a few times this year is they've had 10, 15, 20-point leads, and just teams have been able to come back and chip away. And I think that's kind of also what happened here last night. I feel like Tennessee had a decent gain on them. Ament went down with that gruesome-looking injury that he's lucky he was able to walk off the court. Tried to give it a go in the second half and just couldn't. I'm interested to see what some imaging might show, or it's got to be a hyperextension, or there might be a slight tear somewhere, but it looked bad. And that's just kind of been Tennessee's MO this year, is they can get up on some teams that are really good, and then they can't keep that momentum, and the opposing team just chips away at their lead, and it becomes closer, or they lose.
Yeah, it looked like I missed a banger yesterday, and I believe I picked the home team, which was Tennessee, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe I picked Tennessee with that one, and that looked like it was a banger and a high-scoring game. I like high-scoring college games. And, being from the Big Ten, it's easy to get a 40, 50-point game. You know what I mean? So I like when I can get a Big Ten game up in the 70s and 80s, or somebody might even be tickling and playing with the 90s. So that looked like that was a very, very entertaining SEC game that I missed right there.
This was me and Zay was talking, man, last night. I told him this was a great game. I think I seen a lot of defense on both sides, especially out of Tennessee, even though they took a tough loss. I think this was a good win for Alabama, a good loss for Tennessee, for them to push through and figure some things out. Another big injury, for another great player this year, and it was a freshman, and Nate Ament. So I think Tennessee they got to go to the drawing board now. They got to figure things out. Of course, know what's going on with Ament, sensational freshman. If he's hurt, it's going to be tough. But if he can come back, I think it'll be good for Tennessee. I think Alabama needed this more than anything, and they figured out some things that they needed to figure out as they head to the end of the season, preparing for the conference tournament.
Hey, listen. This Bama team is a sleeper in March Madness. I tell you, this probably might be one of the. This is one of the best. It could be the best backcourt in America, though. You talking about Holloway? The kid got a burner. He got a burner. He got a clip, whatever you want to call it. The kid Phelan Jr., he can get to any spot he want to get to on the court. And when you got right sale hitting shots like that, man, that trio is ridiculous. And we done seen it plenty of times where guards just sweep through March Madness. If them three guys can stay on the heater like they have been, I think this is 8 games in a row now. If they can stay on the heater, man, and continue to play very good basketball, and make shots and take care of the ball, this Bama team is going to be real tough to beat, man. All right, let's lead us to this next matchup, man. We seen another trouncing in the SEC yesterday. 77 to 111. Number 20 went on the road to Florida. Florida came out with that dub. What did y'all catch out of this game? What did y'all see?
It was on late for me, but I just need to know what happened between Golden and Cal, because I heard there was some bickering.
I don't know. Some competitive banter, probably. I don't know.
Well, I doubt it was competitive banter.
Kyle, I don't like taking tough losses like this. They got BTA, and I told y'all about the Florida team, man. I think Boogie Plan was the difference maker. He had double figures. 7 players had double figures. And I think this game was bigger for Florida than it was for Arkansas. Mm-hmm. They came out with a goal to put a halt to Flan Thomas, 11 to 32 shooting from the 2 superstars in a big game. It's not going to get it done. And again, I have 7 players in double figures. And Ruben Chinyelu, people don't know about. Mr. Double-Double, you might as well call him that, Big Ruben. He's a monster for Florida. Reminds me of the guy, we thought he was a football player. I think his name was Smith from years ago. But he reminds me of him, and he's a problem. I think this Florida team is the team to watch. Great guard play, get the job done, don't turn the ball over. So, big win for Florida, pushing forward, and they get a share of that title. So, kudos to the reigning national champs until they dethrone. They continue to do work.
But Boogie Flan made this personal.
Very personal.
He made it personal. They did a piece on game day before. I don't know if y'all saw it. That was before I fell asleep because it was a long day. about how, when he got hurt at Arkansas, nobody checked on him. They just ignored him. And that's how he knew he needed to go. He was there when he was there, and then when he wasn't any good for what he was there for, nobody kind of reached out or anything. He took that shit personal yesterday and said, I got you. So I think that was interesting, because you wonder how that goes a lot of times, especially with so many kids are transferring within conference now, which is so strange to me. But when you play your former team and you know the inside or outside workings of a program, you can make it personal. And he did that, and he showed out last night from what I saw this morning. So it was kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm with y'all on that. Florida literally Arkansas out to the shit. You heard a bunch of bumping. You heard Arkansas yelling. A couple seconds later, you didn't hear Arkansas yelling anymore. But you still heard the bumping and things falling. This was an old-fashioned beating. And your boy post-game turned this game off at about 10 minutes left in the second half and began to watch the Wars and Rumors of Wars. So, I mean, there's nothing to see here. Florida, we asked if they could be a top 4 seed. I think they can be a top 4 seed, depending if they keep rolling through the conference tournament. So I was thoroughly impressed by Florida. You definitely better bring your A game to the arena with them.
Yeah, I'm glad we played them in November, not now.
Hey, appreciate y'all for getting me up out of my pig stooey little Arkansas homerism with this one right here, because it looked like it wasn't even close. What was that score again?
111 to 77.
111. Did it go into triple overtime? How could it go into triple overtime if they only had 77? And how the hell did they get 111 points that fast?
They got triple ones.
What the world was going on in this game? Has anybody scored 111 points this year?
I don't
even know if I ever see side of, just one of those games where it's like the beginning of the season and you got Ohio State playing Bethune-Cookman or somebody, and you're still not getting 111 points. That right there has to be probably one of the most impressive game scores that I just heard. I ain't get to see it, but that just sounded like everybody was out there eating. It sounded like it was the Golden Corral, and everybody was just out there eating up everything they wanted to eat. Very impressive, and that could be a very dangerous sign for anybody in this NCAA tournament. Just going off of that score right there.
Yeah, Florida sent the message to whoever those guys who put those guys on the line, because they tell them, I want a number 1 seed in this freaking tournament. They put it on Arkansas yesterday. The thing I don't like though is they get Texas next, and Arkansas is probably going to be like, we got our butts whooped. We got to take it out on Texas, and they probably going to smash Texas, man. And Texas need both of these wins these last 2 games to keep themselves up of the bubble. But, man, Arkansas getting beat like that by Florida. I think Florida is probably the scariest team ranked outside of the top 3 or 4 teams in the country, because now their guards have started to figure it out. Their front line we already knew was going to be really, really good. They got guys who can score the ball, who are long, who can shoot from 3, and then they got another guy who was long who can play defense, probably 1 through 5 in the college game. He's a really, really tough defender. And I think with that kind of a team and those guards playing much better than they played early in the season, this Florida team is going to be really, really tough, man. I hope that they can get a number 1 seed going into this tournament, because they are really, really scary. Good job by them yesterday.
Hey, y'all know I always look in between the lines and see what I can find out there to see if they trying to throw us a little something. And they scored 111 points. Is that what they scored?
Yeah.
So that's a number 1 seed and a number 1 seed and a number 1 seed. All ones. How that happened? I don't know. That's just how my brain work. My brain work different, y'all. Y'all know I'll be looking, trying to figure out what y'all out there trying to do to us, America.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because if you really think about this Florida team, when they won their back-to-back championships in the last time around, the second championship, nobody spoke on Florida really. And then that tournament came. Florida got ranked right here, like you said, at this high position, and they just put in work with a team that nobody felt could come together like the previous year. So I'm looking at this Florida team. I like you said the way you said that WTP and UT1. I think they're, man, that's something. 1 seed for Florida after the big win, tied for the worst loss in the Calipari era. So I think they stirred a lot up with this one. Florida, they out there playing games, celebrating the day. It's the day off and another one tomorrow for them after this big.
Hey, listen, y'all know I keep telling y'all Florida is my favorite. You got 7 dudes with double figures, and then the 8th guy got 8 rebounds in the game. So they're 1 through 8. That's like a perfect rotation number for me. 8 guys, maybe 9 sometimes, but 8 guys. Everybody gonna hit the floor for about 17, 18 minutes plus. I love 8-man rotations. I think this team is they're going to be a hell of a wrecking ball in this tournament. People are going to have problems with them, and I'm really praying and I'm hoping, because the matchup I really want to see them go up against is Arizona. I hope they fall in the same region as Arizona. That will be a monster game for me. Yeah, y'all got anything else y'all want to add about the college hoops world before we move over to the NFL Combine?
I got to give a shout out.
Texas beat Texas A&M and our SEC, Sean. That's why you didn't come on the show, because we whooped your boys yesterday.
He said his upset pick was Arkansas, but the only thing that was upset was them Hog fan stomachs.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Nolan Smith, first-year head coach at Tennessee State. Most wins in Tennessee State record since they went to D1. They have 20 wins. Took the regular season championship yesterday and are heading into their OVC tournament that starts Thursday as the number 1 seed. So super proud of my former Duke boy and a personal friend. So really happy for them.
That's what's up.
Let's give a shout out to the NYU women's basketball team. Are undefeated, as is the men's Miami Ohio University Redhawks. Just shouting them out. Going through a college basketball season is not easy. Being undefeated where you at this point, respectively. And shout out to St. Mary's, getting a big win against Gonzaga. Team we've been trying to figure out who they are, and we know when St. Mary's clip them in the season, Gonzaga normally gets 1, maybe 2 wins in the tournaments. Just a food for thought. So keep that in your notebook and think about that as we get ready for these brackets.
All right, let's move over to the combine, man. We had the running backs, the quarterbacks, the running backs, and receivers on display yesterday, man. We're gonna go ahead and start off with the quarterbacks. Who is your biggest winners and losers from the QB position from yesterday's combine testing and their throwing sessions?
Taylor Green, with what he did, I don't know if he just put everybody on notice, put every GM on notice. He's totally moved up the charts for sure. First round pick. Where is he going? Who knows? But after watching him yesterday, he's just a thoroughbred, man. It was good to see him, especially the season he had. And like I said yesterday, man, you could tell who's preparing for these combines, who's ready to put the work in. And you see it based on a simple 40, but his overall combine was crazy work, ridiculous, diabolical.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to Taylor Green and why measuring in at 6'6", 227 and running a 4.35 and 11.2 in the broad is extremely impressive. I gotta disagree with my brother Moss. I don't think he moved up the draft board because guess what? The thing that you want to see from him, he didn't do, which is passing the ball. I think everybody figured out or already knew coming in that he was an athletic freak. But if you want to be a quarterback in NFL, the most important thing is throwing the rock, and he didn't throw the rock. So I don't know if he moved up, but at the same time, extremely impressive feat. I thought Ty Simpson did himself some good yesterday, slinging the ball. I think I was surprised personally by Haynes' King ability to run that fast in his 40. I think he did himself some good. And I think Sawyer Robertson didn't have the best day throwing, but I think his athletic testing was pretty solid.
Yeah, I would have to say Taylor Green, Haynes King, both of them, in terms of what they did at the combine yesterday, at least made it interesting for teams to say, maybe in the later rounds, I will take this guy and see where I can position him at when it comes to playing some of these positions, some gadget football in the NFL. I think Taylor Green, if there's a team out there who is willing to have a project that has a quarterback who starts for them with this kind of a skill set, they probably will draft him in the later rounds and just see if they can develop him into something and also use him in gadget situations. I think that will be the same for Haynes King as well, being able to run that way, or even put him in certain packages, sort of like a wildcat, but also with a guy who can trick you up and throw the ball to a tight end or something. They might have helped themselves in that way. In terms of being drafted straight out as a quarterback, I don't think they helped themselves much. But I think Ty Simpson did enough to let all those NFL teams who have an interest in getting a quarterback outside of Mendoza, I think he did that and helped himself as well.
P1.
Nah, go ahead. I don't like none of them quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, we know Taylor Green did some like all time testing for QB position yesterday. But to throw a little couple other names out there, I thought Cole Payton from North Dakota State threw the ball really well. I think he got on a lot of people's radar yesterday. I would say Drew Aller. I think somebody's going to absolutely fall in love with Drew Aller. Just the measurables, um, and just the ease of. He's just like one of them guys. It's like without the pads, it looked like he got everything you need. So maybe somebody take a flyer on him and just be like, man, I can be the one to coach this guy up. Um, but one person I think hurt themselves, man. I don't know. That ball did not look good coming out of K Club. I don't think he threw the ball well at all for real. Well, not I ain't gonna say at all. It just wasn't. It just didn't. I don't know. If you seen it, it just didn't look right. Something was off. I don't know if it was the footwork or just the arm strength in general, but something was off about K Klubnik. So I think he's the one guy that didn't do himself no favors. Maybe he could turn that around on pro day and get with his guys and throw the ball a little bit better. But as far as this QB class, we already felt like it's not the deepest. So I won't say that because I wasn't impressed by a lot of these guys, but I won't say that they hurt themselves because they came out there to compete. So I think that's a plus that they even showed up to compete. I think that gives you more credibility than not. Some instances, even if you didn't perform the best. But I think a lot of the times when you got a class like this, it's not that they didn't perform. It's just some of them just don't got it. They just don't got it. So even guy like Haynes King, somebody brought up Haynes King, I thought he would run faster in the 40. You know, I don't remember what did he run 4. What did he run 4.5, 4.6? I thought he would run faster though, but I don't know. Some of these guys, this class is not that good at all, and you could tell.
Hey Zay,
Yo,
this class is garbage.
it's not that.
You're not going, and that's why I really ain't had much to say unless you just set me up, threw me an alley oop so I can talk about it. This class is garbage. You know what I mean? As a former QB, this class is garbage. I mean, even with Mendoza going number one, if you have any of these other first round QBs, and I'm not even going to say number one overall QBs, I'm just going to say a quarterback that went in the first round, he's not going in the first. He was in a system, had a good system, had a great team that was set up to win, that was extremely old, and I think he's a good quarterback. I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback, but am I saying that he's one of those number one overall draft picks? No. He will be a late first rounder to second rounder in any other draft. And if you take it back some years, and that Indiana team was old as hell. They were old, and that's going to factor in. You know what I mean? So I don't feel that number one pick, but everybody feels like they have to take a quarterback number one. They got the number one pick. They got to get a quarterback. They got to get their franchise player. And if you really, really look at it, they really don't get that franchise player. It got to be less than 50%. So, kudos to the Raiders. Good luck to the Raiders. But man, I hope they have a nice system around him, because I don't like this QB class, and I think Mendoza is just okay. He had a system, got him a natty, undefeated natty, and kudos to him.
All right. What's Sean talking about that down here? He said, "Sorry, I've been at work." I know.
Gotta get that SEC, Sean.
You good, Sean? Let's go ahead and move to the running back position, though. Who are y'all's biggest winners and losers from the running back position?
I really like the speed of the running backs. You can go ahead, Post.
The biggest winners were, of course, Mike Washington, Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price. I thought those were the biggest winners. I think the fact that they asked Jeremiah Love to stay after and work with the wide receivers shows the versatility that I've been talking about for 3 years now. Jadarian Price, in my opinion, looked the best on the on-field workouts, and he did himself a lot of good getting into the 4.4s. And Mike Washington, I don't think anybody expected him to run that fast. So I thought those three guys were the biggest winners. I think Emmett Johnson from Nebraska, who I really like, I think he ran a little slower than I was expected. So, I mean, running backs, nice. I don't think it's the deepest class, but I definitely think there's some people, some RBs that did themselves some good in the company.
Hey, Post. Didn't you say that Love was going to be like a top receiver as well? Coming from out that backfield, you said that, huh? And then they want to look at him with the receivers, huh? You be spitting that hot fire, man. I like that.
Hey, T1. Hey, shout out to T1, man. He always acknowledged when your boy Post is cooking, man.
All day. Hey, I didn't look at Love like that, but you said that yesterday. You said that he gonna be in the runnings with them wide receivers too, and for the NFL coaches and GMs and scouts to hear you on that post yesterday and say, "Hey, Jeremiah, come over here. We heard that you're gonna be a top receiver too, man. Big props out to you, folks."
I just think I was texting Post about Jeremiah Love myself. I think when you had two running backs from the same school, top 6 in a 40 time, very impressive. I think Jeremiah Love don't even need a pro day. His day yesterday was just that good, even through the interview process. And like you mentioned, for him to work out with the wide receivers, I think that shows not just his skill set, but how much them GMs really want you in on their franchise. So I think he really excelled yesterday. I really like what Jeremiah Love put out on the field, and I think it's only going to get faster and stronger. You can go back and look at Adrian Peterson's numbers and compare those to Jeremiah Love's. Crazy work he put on yesterday on that combine.
Y'all made me come off mute because just love him. Him and Jadarian. I mean, Jeremiah said he's not even going to participate in pro day at Notre Dame. There's no need for him to. He proved himself yesterday. He's proved himself the past 3 years. I don't know what Jadarian's going to do. And, I have no dog in the fight once they leave Notre Dame. Love you. You're always being Irish to me. But Jeremiah Love is just an absolute dog. Him and Jadarian both bring two totally different skill sets. But what you saw yesterday, I'm assuming because I didn't watch it, was what they do every day. Every day is they put in that work. So I just love. Back on you.
Yeah, kudos to Washington in that fast time that he ran. He really helped himself a lot. I think we already knew what those two Notre Dame running backs would be. So they really didn't even have to go out there and perform in my eyes. I think NFL scouts already know what they're going to get with those two guys. But I like what Mossberg said about the pro day. If I'm Love, I'm taking the back seat and I'm letting Jadarian Price just go out there by himself at that running back position and just solidify himself in front of those scouts and just let him do all the work and Love not go out there at all. Maybe be there for moral support and that be it. But I think that those two guys are probably the two best running backs in this draft. But Washington really did it. So is Washington the kid is he from Arkansas?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kid runs hard, man. You see how he trucked Michael Taft on the sideline in that game, man. I really like him. I think the way he runs, physical, with a purpose, and he can couple that with some speed too. I think he really, really helped himself out a great deal in this draft because running backs really, you only get 2 or 3 of them that really, really go high. But I think he's a guy who could get in that mix and be the third running back pick in this NFL draft.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Post.
My bad, Zay. I don't think people realize how fast these players are moving. Like, I know we do, but for the audience, like, just to put it in perspective, like 4.5 is fast. 4.4, that's elite speed. 4.3 and better, you just a freak of nature.
Nah, that's a fact. You moving like you 4.5, you moving like school zone like speed. You know what I'm saying?
What we talking about? You like a sports car with 4.3 speed. But I thought a lot about the speed with the running back position as well as just in general. But the running back position yesterday made me think, will this class come in after the way Genty performed last year's rookie season? We've seen some of these rookies performing. Could this class be a class that possibly give them thoughts, as I said last year, about changing the money when it comes to this running back? Because we know they're undervalued. And that's a position you got to get out there, run that ball. You getting hit. That's not easy. They got to start paying that. They got to go look at that running back position and up that money a little bit some way, somehow, because it seemed like they're needed more since they've lessened the money value.
Yeah, I mean, outside of Washington yesterday, I don't think really there was no really winners. Because I feel like people already know Jeremiah Love is a top 3 overall type of talent in this draft. So, I mean, as long as whether he ran or not, I feel like he was still the same player. His film is there. So I just can't say anything about anybody else that really helped themselves. But who did hurt themselves is all the guys that did not perform, bro. I'm looking for Katron Allen, can't find him. Where's Nicholas Singleton? Can't find him. Where's Jonah Coleman? I can't find you. Where's Noah Whittingham from Oregon? I can't find you guys. Why are you guys like? I'm not gonna call y'all scared, but why are y'all guys not out there competing next to the other players that's working for positions in these drafts? And I think sometimes when you wait till pro day, you wait till your comfort zone, That's kind of a telling trait for me, bro. I want my running back to be dogs. So I want you to come out there and compete. I think them guys hurt themselves more than anything.
That's a really good point. One take Zed. When you're not the guy at your position group, and you get invited to the combine, it's essential that you go. You can't wait for your comfort zone and your pro day to go out there and show what you got, man. If you get invited and you're not Jeremiah Love at the running back position or the group of guys that was in there last year, who we saw go out there and perform and did well for themselves, you do yourself a disservice by not going to the NFL Combine.
Y'all got anything else to add? Oh, go ahead, Post.
I just want to add that there's a little bit of noise about Carnell Tate's 40. He ran in the 4.5. So what? Some of the best.
We want to get to the receivers, Post.
Yeah, we don't run backs. My bad.
We about to get to you. Hey, matter of fact, you going first. What's your biggest winners and losers, man? Go ahead, Post. Kill him from the receiver position.
Right, so I can give you some more props.
I thought overall the SEC receivers were really fast. You got Brendan Thompson, Xavier Thomas, Deion Burks, and then a guy Zay likes to talk about, and Chris Brezel out of Tennessee. Him at 6'5", 200 pounds, and then in the 4.3s. Bro, I think he just solidified a first-round draft pick. That size and speed combo is going to be too sexy for GMs to pass up on. So I thought there was some wide receivers that really helped their case. Now, what I was about to get to was Carnell Tate, and I hear people talking about his 6'5" or 4.5 40 time. So what? Guess what? Y'all remember guys like Jerry Rice? Y'all remember guys? What's my man who used to play in Houston with the hands? I don't know why I can't remember.
Devontae.
Who?
Hopkins.
Andre Johnson.
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams. There are all type of all-time great receivers that didn't run 4.4, 4.3. 4.5 is plenty fast enough. And a guy who runs routes like Carnell Tate and has the hands and size that he has, just because you don't run in those 4.4s, 4.3s, don't think you're going to be doesn't mean you're not going to be an effective NFL wide receiver. So these teams can be foolish if they want and look at that time and pass on him, and I promise you it's going to come back to bite him.
Hey, Post, they won't be that foolish because they see the film as well, and they see him for some reason. He's all alone behind the safety. And not to mention he has 10.5-inch hands, which means, and you see it on film, he catches almost everything thrown his way. And then you have the ultimate ingredient. He's a Buckeye. So you miss me with all of that stuff. I mean, if he's not the first wide receiver taken off the board, it is what it is, but he'll definitely be number 2. And I don't think he can get past Cleveland.
There was nothing that Tate did to change my mind about him being wide receiver 1 overall.
Absolutely.
You know who else ran in the 4.5, right? Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Yeah.
And that's who they did a lot of comparison. Like, I think about Mike Evans, like you said, Smith-Njigba. And I'm going to go ahead and call Carnell Tate. His new name for me is the Technician. And the reason I call him the Technician is because at 4.5 speed, you still can run the routes. You got hands the size of the Claude Kawhi Leonard. You can do work. So I actually been liking Carnell Tate for a few years. I think he's what the NFL been waiting for. Is going to give me thoughts, like I said, Plaxico Burress, man. Like one of the guys I really like. I love Cardinal Tate and what he can bring to the game. So bring him to Cincinnati at 10 if it's possible. But I like Dallas.
Hey, but just think about it though, y'all. Like for real, for real. I mean, the man's 6'2", 6'2 and a half or something. But to say that a 4.5 is slow and you're questioning, you know, his running ability, that's just wild to me. That's wild because you might got this 4.52 or 4.5 whatever, but somebody in front of him ran a 4.46 or something. He just right there on his heel. They acting like he 3, 4, 5 steps behind somebody. Like he's still right there on the heel of a 4.3. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think that's ridiculous to say that a 4.5. And I understand you want the receivers running a 4.3, but those receivers are probably 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". And that's when we do say it's impressive when we see, you know, a wide receiver or a quarterback or a linebacker run a 4.3, run a 4.4. I get that. But, you know, to try to drop a wide receiver because of his 40 time when the film doesn't lie and he wasn't slow. Now, if he would have ran a 4.6, a 4.65, 4.68 or something, then I maybe could rock with you a little bit. But 4.5, that's good.
And not to mention, he'll probably run a 4.4, somewhere in the mid 4.4s at pro day. He probably will run it again at pro to get a better time. But man, I thought was a couple guys that helped out a lot yesterday, and the main one I would say is Deion Burks in Oklahoma. I thought Deion Burks went out there and balled out. He was already a guy in my book, but I think he's creeping closer to that first round. And so the thing with him is though, we didn't see we all last year. We was like, man, we got dudes in Oklahoma that's they don't have no receivers. Nobody's getting open to that. I'm starting to really think it was coaching, bro, at this point, because the way Deion Burks ran that 4.35, just seeing him and Chris route running yesterday, I'm like, man, I don't know how they couldn't get this guy open. But another guy too is Zachariah Branch. I think Zachariah Branch is highly slept on, and I want to say that they threw him a lot of screen passes, even at USC, screen passes, even at Georgia, screen passes, a lot of intermediate stuff. But his route running is actually like probably one of the crisp I've seen all day yesterday. So Zachariah Branch, man, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody took him in the first round either. It just depends on the team, honestly, and people department and what they see on the film. Because word is that Zachariah Branch actually suggests that he has a very big route tree, just they don't throw him the ball down the field. So that could be another key too. But them two guys, I think they definitely earned themselves more money.
I think their potential is about to be unlocked for sure. I'm glad you met Zachariah Branch. We see his talent, man. I think whoever gets both of these receivers are going to get something special. Branch, I think he brings a whole different element, kind of like Percy Harvin. Like you got to look at some of these hybrid receivers and their speed and the skill and what they can do. Like you said, with route running, he's special. I think he's just going to be unlocked once he's drafted.
Yeah, I think Deion Burke did himself a really good service yesterday in the combine, along with Brennan Thompson in terms of the speed, possibly to be a return guy, not necessarily as a wide receiver in the NFL. His route running, his ability to catch the football and all that is not because he went from Texas to Oklahoma to Mississippi State, but the speed is there. So as a return guy, I think he did himself some service there. Deion Burks, of course, and then Zachariah Branch. I think he really helped himself out a lot. If he had a better quarterback, we really would have to see just how talented Zachariah Branch is. This Georgia team was not a team that would throw the ball down the field a whole lot. That was a big knock on Gunnar Stockton all season. We seen him do it at the Tennessee game, but we didn't see it much after that. And I think if he would have been able to give those kind of throws to Zachariah Branch during the season a lot more, he really would be one of the top receivers that we would be talking about. In terms of Carnell Tate running that 4.54, if I'm an NFL scout and I'm gonna go on the opposite side, not because I don't think that he's gonna be the number one wide receiver pick, because I think he will be. But if I'm looking at his film, I'm wondering, was he the beneficiary of having Jeremiah Smith on the other side of it? But he runs really good routes. So you can't say that he's not, or he only was good because of that. Because his route running is phenomenal. So I hope that these scouts really look deep into how good of a receiver he is, as opposed to just thinking that, oh, he put up these numbers, he's this or that. I hope that they really go back and look at everything that he does. So that way they really can determine, yeah, this guy really is that good. He just wasn't the beneficiary of having Jeremiah Smith on the other side of it.
He's a Buckeye. That's all you need to know. You're a Buckeye, watch the film, and what
Archie Griffin was a Buckeye and a 2-time Heisman Trophy winner, and he was a bust in the NFL.
But guess what? These wide that's coming to the NFL year after year after year after year. I mean, Smith and Jigba was just the offensive player of the year in year number 2.
Yeah.
Marvin just needs a quarterback. I mean, everybody, if you're NFL team, you want a Buckeye wide receiver. If I'm lying, I'm lying.
Hey,
Yeah, I would just add that Carnell Tate has dominated on every level of football he's played thus far, high school and college. I don't think it's going to be any different in the NFL. But, I mean, Rob did bring up a good point. How much of that was due to who he was playing with? But I think at the end of the day, Carnell Tate is going to be an absolute stud in the NFL at the wide receiver position.
I mean, shoot, at times he was looking better than Jeremiah.
Talk about it.
You can call it whatever you want to call it, but at times he was. So it was just like pick your poison, y'all.
Hey, they had to sit Carnell Tate this year because he was going to win the Biletnikoff Award over Jeremiah Smith. They couldn't let that happen.
Yeah, that's the real reason he shut down them games. They talking about an injury because he was already surpassing him, and I think he was on for another big game. So I don't know, Tate. I've been liking him, man. He's special. Whatever GM gets Tate, man, they're gonna be getting something very special. And like you said, man, it's a factory down there at Ohio State. They produce wide receivers like no other. We seeing it. It's starting to be a normal thing. And like for me, I don't know. I would like to see him be paired up with Malik Neighbors. You got Ohio State and LSU wide receivers. I think that would be something special for Jackson Dart, Scatterbo. We'll figure out everything else in the offseason, free agency or whatnot if we can. I just think that would be great for him.
Man, that statement almost sounds like y'all saying that Jeremiah Smith was benefiting from Carnell Tate. No, Carnell Tate was benefiting because of Jeremiah Smith.
Why does anybody have to be benefited though? They're both great in their own rights, man. But
they are. I agree with you. But if you're a defensive coordinator, you already know who was Texas making sure didn't kill him. Who was everybody making sure this guy didn't kill us? And everybody who didn't, what happened? Jeremiah Smith killed them.
I'm just saying, the Jackson Smith
Tate killed. Tate has some monster games, and just as One Take Zay said, and I believe it now. I don't even know if he was hurt. He was going all the way up to where he was like I said, he was looking like the best wide receiver in college football.
Simply because that guy on the other side of him was getting double teamed and triple teamed. Man, come on, man. Y'all know that's the truth. I ain't
Man,
taking that away from Carnell Tate. I know Carnell Tate is a hell of a baller. But I'm telling you right now, he was benefiting for the fact that he got that dude over there that's the best college football player in the country, has been the best college football player for going on the third year now when this season starts.
So why hasn't he been
get somebody? Let's get somebody unbiased in the situation. We're gonna direct this question to post game. Because you're biased, man. We're gonna direct this question to post game right now. As a receiver, post game, how much do you value a receiver winning his one-on-one matchup?
100% of the time, you got to be able to win your matchup. I mean, I think two things can be true at once. I think, yes, Jeremiah Smith is a freak of nature, and anybody would benefit playing alongside with him. I also believe that Carnell Tate, his own right, is a wide receiver. And I think a lot of us will see that, in the NFL draft when he goes to 5 to 10.
At the worst, I think he's a wide receiver too. At the worst.
Hey Rob, is Tate wide receiver 1 in Texas last year?
Yeah, he was wide receiver 1 at Texas last year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
But we don't have Jeremiah Smith.
That's okay. Is he wide receiver 1? Is he wide receiver 1 in Alabama?
How can you say that and Worthy didn't go in the top 10? Like, we got to make it make sense.
This. If Xavier Worthy was there, he would not be wide receiver 1. He would not be wide receiver 1. If at Georgia or Alabama, if Devontae Smith was there, would he be wide receiver 1?
Devontae Smith was a Heisman Trophy winner. That's a whole different level.
What I'm saying is, I gotta put somebody in there that's at least close to Jeremiah Smith. We all know Jeremiah Smith is the best probably wide receiver we've probably ever seen in our lives. I gotta put somebody.
Why hasn't he won the Biletnikoff or the Heisman or anything? Why isn't he winning anything if everybody's saying he's so awesome?
Because he's getting double and triple teamed against the really good teams that can do it.
The best should be the best. If you're the best, you should be called the best, labeled the best, given whatever trophies as the best wide receiver. 2 years in a row, this young man has not won a Biletnikoff.
That's not true.
Has caused
That's not true.
many
That's not
problems
true. That's not true.
for this debate.
That's not true.
Hey, in the Super Bowl era, Ohio State receivers leads the NFL in reception yards, reception touchdowns, and receptions.
They are the factory for wide receivers. That's hands down. There's no doubt about that. All I'm saying is Jeremiah Smith is the man, and Carnell Tate benefited from that. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Y'all got anything else to add about the combine before we get out of here?
I just hope everybody has fun.
What'd you say, MG?
I just hope everybody has fun.
I don't have nothing to say about the combine, but I'm going to tell y'all a hood legendary story. 2 guys in the Windsor Terrace got speeding tickets on a bike, bro. On a bike. Speeding tickets.
I'm a guess. I don't know. I'm a guess and say one of them was Dez.
No.
Do I know these people?
Huh?
Do I know these people?
No, you don't know these people. Rest in peace to my man Vandale Parks. Legend says this guy got a speeding ticket on a bike, and my man Busby, who was a BMX legend back in the day when BMX bikes first came out and all that racing and stuff on that dirt. My man Busby.
Making him bike, wasn't he? Wasn't he Bill too?
Yeah. He was cold-blooded. Both of them, according to Hood Legend.
That's called driving. That's called driving while black.
Man, just want to say happy heavenly birthday to my nephew, going on 3 years, and then happy birthday to my little bro Twan, man. Happy birthday, man! Can't wait to see you. I'm gonna hit you up. He all the way down to Texas right now with my niece who just got a big cheer celebration and a victory down there, bring it home to go. So can't wait to see them when they get into it, man. But just wanted to send that out there, put that in the prayers for sure.
Post game T1, y'all got anything to say before we jump out of here?
More good, man. Appreciate it.
No, just a great show, everybody, and watching. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Hey man, listen, man, it's March, man. Y'all make sure y'all tap into City League TV. It's gonna be a whole bunch of high school basketball action coming. It's gonna be some barn burners, especially when we get to that Coliseum. When we know that thing really looked like a barn anyway. You know what I mean? Hey, all the channels are scrolling at the bottom, man. Thank you for
I do have a game update.
What's up?
Newark versus Delaware Hayes first round game has been moved to Monday because Newark girls are playing Tuesday at the Expo Center in they beat Lancaster yesterday in overtime at Dominican. So the Newark boys are playing Monday instead of Tuesday.
Shout out to my daughter.
Newark gonna scrape them anyway. Like
for the fourth time.
Hey, shut me down, man. They're trying to shut me down for the playoffs, so I'm about to have to go up in there like post game. I'm about to have to run up in there like post game and just do what I do, but they trying to shut me down. They're Spectrum on all of the rights, and I can't go live and all this and all that. So I might just have to bypass the credentials and just go do what I do. But yeah, they try.
You can't keep a good.
Go ahead, Paul.
Hey, TY, you can't keep a good man down.
Right, man, right. And that's why I always let them know, like, listen here, we ain't got nothing to do with Columbus City Schools. So when y'all see me come up in that expo center with the shiesty on, just understand I'm coming to do what I got to do.
But for sure, though, all the channels scrolling down at the bottom, man, you got Post Game with the Post Game 86 show, Robert at WTP for Life, Level Up Sports 10, that's JoJo Boss in the middle of the screen at the bottom. Yeah, City League TV, and I'm One Take Zaya, man, with the One Take Zaya podcast, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Hey, good talking to y'all. Y'all have a good rest of y'all Sunday.
Appreciate it. Love y'all. Peace out.
For sure. Peace.